So I was on a call with a body worker the other day, and we were talking about the therapeutic benefits of body work, and I made a joke and said that body work is therapy. And we both laughed because, of course, we knew that it wasn't a joke, it's true. And this is actually something I've been thinking a lot about lately, because as a marketer, I've also come to find that marketing is therapy. And even a lot of the work we do across various industries, whatever industry you're in some ways, you're sort of helping your client through their internal struggles. If you provide a service or a product that solves a problem. And especially if you're in the world of personal development. And you're probably familiar with Carl Rogers, famous psychologist, developed something called the 7 stages of process. And it's basically the 7 stages of process that a therapy client would go through to sort of solve their problem and become a self-actualizing individual that doesn't really need therapy to solve their problems. They've sort of learned how to grow and solve their own sort of internal battles. And there's a famous marketer named Eugene Schwartz who wrote the book Breakthrough Advertising. He developed something called the stages of customer awareness, and I started looking at them side by side, and I started realizing they're really kind of similar. You know, for both of them, stage 1 is the client or the customer is not aware they have a problem, and they have no desire to change. But of course, this is usually accompanied by some amount of suffering that they would love to change. It's not that we're creating problems where there aren't any. It's just that there's some unknown cause of their suffering, but they're not aware that they need to modify their behavior in any way. And so they have no desire to. They don't think it'll solve their problem. I don't think they can solve their problem sometimes. Life just sort of seems unfair. So that's stage 1. And then around stage 5, in both processes, you know, the client is aware they have a problem. They're aware of the solution to the problem. And they're ready to take action to solve that problem. Sort of under your guidance as a therapist, as it were, if you were a therapist. And in the customer journey, the customer is aware they have a problem. They're aware of the solution. They're aware of your solution. And they're ready to take action. And under your guidance, if that's a service or buy your product that teaches them how to solve their problem. Right? And then onward to stage 7. You know, the client is a self-actualizing individual, and they can kind of take life as it comes, and everything's all good. But Eugene Schwartz stages of customer awareness ends at stage 5 because, you know, theoretically 5 and 6 is where they're engaging with your product or service. And then 7 is after the work is done and they're a happy customer leaving a glowing review or testimonial. And so this is a side-by-side comparison of Carl Rogers' stages of awareness or stages of process and Eugene Schwartz stages of awareness for the customer journey. And they're very similar. And, you know, there's nowhere else you can find a direct side-by-side comparison of them, so I created one, and it's on my website. You can view it if you just go to kevinhood.me/stages. You can view a side-by-side comparison of this chart that I created. And it's basically, you know, I've taken some creative liberty to simplify the language and show how similar it really is. But of course, there is no direct side-by-side comparison of this. Carl Rogers' explanation of each stage is very long-winded. And so I've summarized it as best I can. And Eugene Schwartz stages 2 also. There's a lot of nuance to these stages. So again, it's summarized, but you can see them side by side at kevinhood.me/stages, and you can see how marketing is therapy. And basically, if you are a therapist, stages 4, maybe 3, 4, 5, and 6 are where you do your work. And as a product owner or service provider or whatever, you do your work more around stages 5 and 6 primarily. But everything before that, in either case, is marketing, right? Stages 1, 2, and 3, and sometimes even 4, educating your audience on what the problem is and its effects on your life. People who are suffering from some unknown cause, not aware they have a problem, might have these symptoms presenting in their life. And, pain in the body somewhere, or they're struggling in their relationships, or can't figure out how to make money, whatever it is. And they don't know why. Well, your marketing comes in and educates them on why. In stage 2, there's a certain level of awareness creeping. Okay, I understand I have a problem. Maybe it's my mindset around money, or maybe it's the way I'm treating my body or mistreating my body, or maybe it's the way I'm reacting in my relationships. But I don't know the solution, right? That's stage 2. And so, again, your marketing helps solve that problem. Hey, if you have this problem and you don't know why, maybe it's this. Maybe the reason you're struggling in your relationships is because you're reacting, to things that look like what happened to you in your childhood. And you're taking offense to things that don't need to be taken offense to. So, and so on. And you're increasing the level of awareness around the problem in your marketing. That's stage 1, 2, 3, sometimes even 4 and 5. Here's my solution. Here's how it works. Here's how it's helped other people. Carl Rogers did the same thing when developing his stages of process. He's written many books on his sort of non-directive therapy and his idea of the universe has this self-actualizing tendency. And if we just sort of sit and be with each other and can listen to each other and really understand each other and be heard, then healing can occur. And so that's his kind of view on the therapeutic process, is you just really see someone in therapy and hear them and allow them to be themselves without judgment, and they will heal on their own. Wow, but it took a lot of education, steps 1, 2, and 3, writing the books, doing the marketing, even though he wasn't a marketer. He had to educate the world on his solution and market it to them through his books and his writings and his teachings and his workshops, right? And then many people found relief from it. And of course, then the idea starts to spread. This is a good idea. It's spread throughout the world. It's a foundational part of our understanding of human nature, human psychology, the therapeutic relationship, and all those things, right? That idea was good and it spread. But it requires marketing. And, marketing, if you're a healer, right? Marketing heals the world. If you're marketing something that doesn't make the world a better place, then what are you marketing? Are you marketing something that makes the world a worse place? I think we're all tired of that. We've seen a lot of that. Tide chemicals, Coca-Cola, soda, right? These sort of things that actually are bad for our environments and our bodies, even toxic to them, are marketed as this sort of fun thing that makes you unique and different and desirable in some sort of way, right? We're all tired of that form of marketing where, that's advertising. Largely, it's not really marketing because it's just paying to interrupt you with images of people playing beach volleyball and drinking Coca-Cola. Like, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It's not something useful that's being offered to the world. It's just garbage in, garbage out. So, marketing, as long as you're trying to do good in the world, is therapy. And helping people solve their internal and external problems, right? Oftentimes on the way to greater health, greater wealth, better relationships, all the sort of tools and strategies and problem-solving solutions we come up with, sort of fit into improving those three categories of our lives, because that's what really matters, right? We want to be financially stable and to be able to share our resources with the people around us, give back to the community, sort of be so full that we can pour other people's cups. And then at the same time too, we obviously want to be happy in our relationships and not frustrated, and find someone if we haven't been able to do that, or sort of make the relationship really good if we've been struggling with that. And we obviously want to feel good in our bodies and have longevity and, be good, feeling good in our bodies for as long as possible, because we all know that we're going to break down eventually. So that's my thoughts for today. Marketing is therapy. And I'm kind of on the river here, and this cool thing happened. The river's frozen over here, but the water level dropped underneath the ice. And so you can see that this big sheet of ice across the river just dropped in one big piece and, sunk looks like about 2 feet over here on this side. You can't see it because of the way the snow's covering it. But yeah, this big chunk of ice that's covering the river dropped about 2 feet and broke all along the edges. And there's this sort of cliff over here that I'm standing on, a cliff of ice that's presumably dangerous in some way. But that's it for today. Marketing is therapy. My name's Kevin Hood. If you want to check out that chart, go to kevinhood.me/stages and check it out. And let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think about it. Come back to this video, view the chart, come back to this video, and share your thoughts and your comments. All right, have a good one.